A woman by the name of Judy Huth is claiming that she was raped by Bill Cosby when she was only 15 years old. Now, this alleged rape happened in 1974, and she allegedly met Bill Cosby while he was filming a movie in a park. At that point, here's what she claims happened according to a lawsuit that she's filed against him in Los Angeles. They were approached by Cosby, who invited them to visit in a director's chair and engaged in conversation with them. Now, she was with her friend, so that's why they say they. He then invited them to come to his tennis club and meet him there the following Saturday. Cosby asked the girls how old they were during his conversation, and they told him that Huth was 15 and her friend was 16. So those are the allegations. She says that afterwards they did meet up and that he continuously gave her alcohol. They met up on a few different occasions. He would give her alcohol, and at one point she got so drunk that she passed out, and he raped her. She woke up and had realized what happened.
So just a little bit more detail here because it's relevant to the story. They would go play pool, and every time he won, he'd make her drink alcohol. Remember, she's 15, right? And then when he went to the Playboy mansion with her, he told her to lie about her age and say that she was 19. So he's fully aware, if you believe the story, okay? And then she says that he made her do things with his genitalia, etc., right? So now this story matches a lot of the other stories, not exactly, because in the other stories he pours something into the drink to knock them out.
Yeah.
In this case, it just appears to be the drinking, right? Now it's along the same timeline, but a little earlier. So perhaps he started putting things into people's drinks later, right? If you believe the stories. Now, I do have an issue with this because, well, now we're going to court, and this happened in 1974.
Yeah.
And so she's going to sue here, trying to get money. Now, if you think that, if you believe her, and obviously the court might determine that soon, she's underage. This guy is much, much older than her, getting her liquored up, doing things she doesn't want to do that she didn't consent to do. And you might feel that she's absolutely within her rights. But now it's been, what, 40 years now, right? Jeez. Now that all the other stuff's coming out, she's going to court and claiming, now the statute of limitations have clearly run out on the criminal case. On the civil case, she's found a loophole for why they haven't run out. And I'll read you the statute, and then I'll tell you what she said that I found questionable.
All right, so here's the statute. Under California's civil procedure laws, the statute of limitations for childhood sex abuse generally tolls within 8 years of the date the plaintiff attains the age of majority, but can extend when the victim realizes, or should have realized years later, that she was injured by abuse. So she has to somehow prove that in the last 3 to 4 years, she suffered from some sort of psychological or emotional trauma as a result of what she had gone through, allegedly gone through with Bill Cosby. But here's the thing, you can't just say it. Of course there has to be evidence, and how do you provide evidence for this situation?
And to provide further clarity, she has to have just realized 3 to 4 years ago that she was injured by that. So now if she'd come out earlier, she had 11 years, right? Because it took 3 years for her to reach the age of maturity, 18, and then another 8 years after that. Okay, that was 11 years. But now it's not 11 years, 40 years, right? So she says, in order to file this lawsuit, I realized I was injured 3 years ago. Okay, that part I don't believe at all. Okay, so now look, we've done a million stories on Bill Cosby, and every time I've been very, very careful, partly because we just didn't know these things happened a million years ago, etc. Now it's nearly 20 women, all with the same story, all from different time periods, different circumstances, with the same fact pattern. Let's just say that it would be incredible. As Ben put it to me in an email, Bill Cosby would have to be the unluckiest accused person ever, right? It would be incredible if they all made it up. So that seems unlikely. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that every person's telling the truth, right? And it also doesn't mean that you can say 40 years later, oh, I just realized 3 years ago that getting raped at the age of 15 sucked, and so now I'd like to sue, right? So I might rule against her. We'd have to see. You'd have to be on the jury, etc. In this fact pattern, but it doesn't mean he didn't do it.